Cursive is becoming something of a lost art. Most schools are now reluctant to teach it, most of us input data via a keyboard, and there's just not that much incentive to use handwriting at all, let alone to join it up neatly. But this is a big shame, not only because Cursive looks nice, not only because it's a shame when anything dies out, but also because Cursive could actually have a lot of very important benefits for the brain, especially in developing brains. That's because this is one way that you can practice fine motor control. Unless you happen to sew or paint, or unless you're a surgeon, chances are you don't practice this skill very much, and it's a big skill to be lost. And this could really hold you back, especially when it comes to speaking fluently and confidently. That's because the premotor cortex, one part of the brain that's responsible for planning movements, actually plays a very big role in speaking, and even in understanding speech and writing. Consider the case of one small boy outlined in the book The Brain That Changes Itself. So this boy suffered from jerky writing, poor comprehension, muddled speech, he'd often get confused, and so he attended a special school called the Arrowsmith School. The Arrowsmith School is an organisation that was set up by Barbara Arrowsmith Young to help children with learning disabilities after she overcame her own learning challenges. And one of the exercises that this school tasked him with was to trace detailed images. What's remarkable is that this exercise in no time at all not only improved his ability to write, but also his ability to speak confidently and even understand what other people were saying. He could speak in much longer sentences, he wouldn't get confused, and he became far more eloquent and outgoing. And that same exercise has been used to improve verbal fluency in many others, and we have every reason to suspect that it would also be effective at improving verbal fluency for people who don't have any learning difficulties. This could help you to become more persuasive, more compelling, more charismatic, all of which can help you to get ahead in a number of different fields. So what's going on? Well, during speech, we need to convert symbols, which are letters and sounds, into movements of our lips and tongue. This requires rapid processing and planning, and that's where the premotor cortex comes in. And that's why it should come as no surprise, really, that sufficiently training the premotor cortex would improve your ability to speak. And reading might be improved because you use the premotor cortex in order to move your eyes across the page. Without the premotor cortex working properly, you can jump around and struggle to focus because you can't plan that movement ahead of time. The premotor cortex might play a role in speech perception because we kind of mouth the words that we hear in order to better understand them. This happens unconsciously, you don't notice yourself doing it, but that's the view put forward at least by the embodied cognition school of thought. And this is just one case, of course, but it makes a lot of sense given that we know there is a link between the premotor cortex and verbal fluency, and that writing and similar tasks can strengthen this area. By the end, this not only normalised the boy's reading and speaking proficiency, but he actually exceeded the average for his age group. So what can we take from this? Well, basically, we should be writing in cursive, or at least practicing some kind of fine, articulate movement. And it makes sense that you really should do this. Most of us do not. If you type, that doesn't count. So if you don't want to try practicing writing by hand, then maybe you should try sewing or colouring in. That can also be highly relaxing. And if you want to get extra points, then try using your non-dominant hand to train ambidexterity and to thicken that corpus callosum. That could increase creativity, and I've spoken on it at length in other videos. Whatever you do, practice dexterity because the results are far-reaching. Thanks a ton for watching, guys. I hope you found this video useful and interesting. Just a quick tip, thought I'd share it as I found it really interesting. Let me know down below if you've done anything to improve your verbal fluency and how you practice using dexterity in your hands. Got lots more brain tips, fitness tips, productivity tips all on the way, so if that sounds good, thanks a ton for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.